Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use your camera's pro mode in order to get some good photo shots. So there will be some particular things that I need to talk about. Um, there will be exposure controls, white balance, ISO, focusing and a lot of stuff. And with the help of pro mode you can take some good snaps. Let me just show you some samples first so that you can understand why you need to use the pro mode. So look at this picture. This one I took in the auto mode, this one was taken in the pro mode, and another picture I took here, this one was in the auto mode, this one was in pro mode, and finally these two, auto mode, pro mode. So pro mode gives you some enhancement that you can make in order to get a good shot. And finally this one, I took this in auto mode in minimum lighting conditions, but this one was in pro mode, and as you can see the picture has come quite good. So yes, the pro mode is a good feature if you are a photography type of a person and you do a lot of camera photography. Okay, let's jump into it. So here I have an object, and this is the normal shot that I have taken. Now let's go to pro mode. First of all, the white balance. Here I have to set it in which condition I am taking the shot. I'm taking it indoors, so I'm just setting it to indoor. And focusing, manual focusing. Just make somewhere in here. Then I have to go to contrast. I'm just set it to medium. Then exposure control. Not too much overexposing things. Yes, now the ISO. And the ISO is a very important part. If I just raise the ISO too much, there will be too noise. So I can't raise the ISO. So these are some shots. Finally with the pro mode. Okay, so the first one came a little bit of blurry, maybe didn't focus too well. So it came a little bit of blurry, but as you can see with the pro mode you can take some good shots. So just change it to a normal photo mode so that I can show you the difference. So this is the normal. So I'm taking two shots. The normal mode. This is the normal mode. This is the pro mode. But here you can't see a huge difference because here the camera is doing a good job. But the other pictures that I have showed you, like this one, you can see a huge difference. Like this one, I literally took it pro mode. Let me show you the details. It doesn't. It says ISO 400, and in here it says ISO 400 as well. Okay, that was interesting, but I changed some of the things, so it came differently. Maybe I changed the lighting conditions. Yes, I changed the lighting conditions and the exposure, so this picture came really well. And here um, here it was a minimum lighting condition, so now you can see, look at these two pictures. This one a little bit dull, you can't see all the details, but here you can see a lot of them. It's because I changed the ISO. Here the ISO is 400 and here the ISO is 800. So, and this picture, this one and this one is taken with the auto mode, this one with the pro mode. And here the picture was a little bit of artificial, not close to real life, but this one was. Though this one looks pretty, but it doesn't really matter. Now, what are those things that actually matter when you're taking a picture? Well, if you look at white balance, it is also a necessary thing. If you're outdoor, if you're indoor, it makes a difference. Manual focusing, yes, if the object is too far, you have to get it in the right place in order to get the perfect focusing, as you can see. And then the contrast, it just depends on you. If you want a high contrast picture, then You can see deep blacks, and if you just put in medium, then it's good. I really don't recommend you guys to get low because it gives a blur effect. So yes, then we have the ISO and the exposure. So the exposure is something that actually um, is needed when the light is coming directly to your camera. Like if you're facing your camera directly to the sun, then the exposure comes into play. Because if you do not um, lower down the exposure, it will overexpose the things, and you won't be seeing those things. So that is overexposing. So exposure is also a very important thing. So it just raise up the exposure level. Can lower down those as well. This is underexposed. This picture will be underexposed, and if I just higher it up, now it looks pretty nice. And the ISO, now ISO is also a very important thing. When there is less light, we have to get the ISO higher. So that means if I have a lot of light, I don't need a higher ISO. But if the ISO is um, higher, then there is a problem that creates noise in your picture, and which isn't good. Of course, you don't want noise in your picture. Like in this condition, if I just get the ISO too high and take one picture, and if I just get the ISO somewhere where I need, like in 400 area, and exposure manual controls, manual focus, and focus again to do now. So now we'll be seeing the difference. I got one blurred out, two blurred out, okay, three blurred out actually. But here, as you can see, my camera doesn't have optical image stabilization, so shaky hands makes a difference. But here you can see the things are exposed, overexposed. But in these two pictures, I got those right, and I got this bokeh effect as well. And this thing looks a little artificial, but this one looks quite good because I raised the ISO higher. As you can see, there is a noise in the picture. So that is what ISO does. ISO, you have to get the ISO higher if there is low light, but do not get it too much higher uh, because it will create noise in your picture. So that was it for today. I just showed you how can you perfect your uh, camera photographies, and there will be another option if you have a better camera, that will be shutter speed. And if I'm talking about shutter speed, then if you are taking a picture of a moving object, then you have to get the shutter speed very quick. But if you're taking a still image and if you have a lot of time, then you have to get the shutter speed slower, because if you get the shutter speed slower, then there will be more light and it will take a better image. So that was it. So you have to consider mostly three things, that is exposure, shutter speed, and ISO. And if you don't have shutter speed option, then exposure, ISO, and white balance. And other than that, don't get the contrast too high or too low. Just keep it somewhere in medium, and that will get the job done. So that was it for today. Thank you guys.